The 2024 NFL Scouting Combine kicked off today as the defensive line and linebackers took the field, and we're going to go over some of the top performers, as well as, unfortunately, some of the guys who may have hurt their stock. Starting with the edge position, let's talk Dallas. Turner had himself a day running a 4.46 40, but it wasn't just that. He came in at 247, which is great. He's above that 245 threshold. He had 34-inch arms, 34.5-inch arms, and he did really well in the explosive drills, having the biggest vert among any of the edge players there. So it was a very good day, kind of solidified him as one of the top edge players in this class. I'll talk about the other guy in a second, but Chop Robinson came in and he had to be twitchy. He had to be a good athlete, right? So running that 4.48 40 was good. It ticked a lot of boxes. He came in with suboptimal length, 32.5-inch arms. You typically want to be above that 33-inch mark, but it's not the end all be all, as long as you know you got that speed, you got that explosiveness. He had a really good 10-yard split at 1.54 and did really good in the broad jump. So you saw a little bit of the explosiveness from him, which what we needed to see. Muhammad Kamara had a really good 40. I didn't think it was gonna be sub 4.6. I really didn't. Came in with ended up having a 4.57. I was pretty impressed, and he kind of needed that, being a smaller guy at 6'1", 247, 248, and having less than ideal length. But I don't, honestly, going back to the Colorado State tape, I don't remember. I knew he had good get off. I didn't realize he was that fast though, right? Like, I don't know, because you look at him and just the way he's built, and just, I know he doesn't have much arm length, but man, if you were to measure them 26-inch pythons, because golly, dude, it's like he's just got two big sticks of meat on his arms, man. Buys and tries, and he just enforces that physicality. So him coming in and running that, man, I don't know if that puts him in the top 100, but it's pretty darn close, man. It really is, because he was very productive at Colorado State. But Jared Verse here running a 4.58. For me, he's in that running for edge one. Dallas Turner, I feel like, is more that stand-up pass rusher who could drop back into coverage like 5-7 times a game, while Jared Verse is more of the put your hand in the dirt, go and get it done type. He also had a good broad jump. He actually had the exact same type of broad jump as Dallas Turner, which was a little funny there. But Chris Braswell running a 4.6. It's fine. It's good. It's nice. I think, honestly, the bigger thing for me was his length came in longer than it was at the Senior Bowl. So that's kind of funny. Like, he was sub 33 inches at the Senior Bowl, but measured out here, he's 33.25 inch. So we're going to go with the higher number. So you're above 33. Good on you, bud. Xavier Thomas, he struggled with cramps. I think he said he had calf cramps or something, but still managed to run a 4.62, which still hella fast. So good on you. Cedric Johnson had himself a day, let me tell you. He did. He's coming in looking like this guy that has a ton of tools that you want to develop. He had a 38-inch in the vert. He had a big broad jump as well, 4.63 40. Very nice, having 33-inch arms. Very nice. And you got Jalen Hunt, who honestly haven't really watched him outside of the Senior Bowl. It may shock you. Haven't watched Houston Baptist tape yet. I know, but he did exactly what he wanted to do, what you want to do when you are a small school recruit. Coming in at 6'4", 252, 34.5-inch arms, ran a 4.6 40, 37.5 in the vert, and had a very big broad. I think it was tied for the top in this class, along with Chop Robinson. So good on him for that. Latu. I was a lot of people were saying coming in this week, Latu's performance isn't gonna be big. It's not. And you should accept that. You know what he is. He's not gonna be the fastest guy. He's not gonna be He's not the longest guy, but he is the most technically sound pass rusher in this class. But I think he outdid himself today. Running a 4.64. I didn't expect that. That was good from him. Solid. I'm happy. I'm very happy with that. And he's another guy that should be in the running for that edge one position. Real quick, gotta give a shout out to today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. When you sign up using promo code Broshmo, they will match your first deposit up to $100 dues. But hey, guys, they are ready for the combine as they are doing slower, faster on combine times. That is just absolutely nutty. So if you want to get in on the action, then sign up, use promo code Broshmo, and they match that first deposit up to $100 dues. But as always, bet wisely, bet within your means. Javonte Jean-Baptiste keeping it at 239. What the heck? This is a guy that was playing at like 252, 255. I didn't like that one bit. It's not like he had good numbers. Don't get me wrong, he did. But you got to get that weight up, bud. I really think he was just probably trimming to test out well this week. I honestly don't buy that into being his playing weight. Miles Cole, another guy that had actually a pretty big day. Coming in as someone who was exceptionally raw. If you remember any of the coverage I did on the Senior Bowl, I kind of joked on day one that this cat just couldn't get a win in the one-on-ones. And then on day two, I was like, hey, congratulations. I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was Christian Jones or if it was Patrick Paul, but I was like, hey, you are Miles Cole's first win of the week. But then he proceeded to have like 2 or 3 straight wins in the one-on-ones after that. But he is very much just a toolsy guy that needs a lot of polish. Coming in at 6'6", 273, ran a 4.67. That's pretty impressive, but he's got close to 37-inch arms, 35 in the vert. Pretty impressive day. Eric Watts, more of a power guy, straight line guy, coming out of UConn, and I had an impressive time. He also ran, I believe, the shuttle or the 3-cone. He actually ran both. Those were suboptimal. Didn't surprise me. Like, this is more of a straight line pass rusher. So I'm not too hurt by his numbers, which, I mean, we'll check out in a second. Gabriel Murphy kind of had to test really, really well, considering really bad length, like 30.5-inch arms. It's just bad. It's really bad length. At that point, you're looking at him like maybe you're an off-ball linebacker. And in the drills, because he did work out with the linebackers, didn't look all that stiff. Maybe he is an off-ball linebacker eventually coming. Another guy I kind of want to note here, I'll talk about Marshawn Nealon in a little bit. Ends up running a 4.75. Very, very nice. Very nice for a guy that's he came in at 267, but mainly a power rusher. But it was his other numbers that kind of blew my socks off. But Braylon Trice, man, coming in 20 pounds lighter than 25 pounds lighter than what he was listed at Washington. He was listed at 271. He came in at 245 and didn't run that fast. Matter of fact, came in with 32.5-inch arms. Kind of rough, man. It's kind of rough. I do want to highlight real quick. They include Brandon Dorless here. Yuck. But Darius Robinson ran a 4.95. He's at 285. No one expected him to run fast. But I was looking at it and I was like, man, these were kind of like Mike Morris's numbers from last year, if you remember the Michigan guy. Granted, Morris was 10 pounds lighter, but Robinson, the numbers weren't don't get me wrong, they're not terrible. They're not bad numbers. They're not very good numbers, but considering maybe the role you expect him to play at the NFL level, which... good luck. Is he an interior guy? No, he's probably a guy on the edge. He's probably a guy that'll maybe play that 5 tech or 3-4 end. I kind of see him doing that or just playing over the tackle. Occasionally you could kick him out further than that, or on passing downs you could kick him inside. So considering what you may expect his role may be, those numbers aren't that bad. Let's take a look at I want to look at the 3-cone here because Marshawn Nealon, my goodness, mamma mia. Holy smokes. I didn't know you were that nimble. Ends up running a 7.02 in the 3-cone. He had the fastest shuttle. I didn't know he was that nimble. This was a guy, someone I've been kind of pumping up. I've had him as like a top 50, close to top 40 prospect. And I'm just going to say he's going to move up a few spots on my board. He's going to get close to that first round status. Just going to put that out there. I'm just going to take it, pull it over here. I'm going to put that out there. Ball's in your court. Ball is in your court. But let's go ahead, move to the defensive interior. I do got to remember to talk about Brandon Dorless. I'm going to go to the 10-yard splits because those are a little bit more important when it comes to the defensive interior position. And Mekhi Wingo, oh, golly, man. He looked so smooth and so twitched out. It was a good day for him. He ultimately ends up running a 4.85 40, but has the fastest 10-yard split. Had solid numbers in the broad and in the vert. But keep in mind, 6 foot, 284 is built a little bit like a bowling ball. So something to take note of. For me, he was kind of sitting outside my top 100. This might sneak him into it. I don't know. We'll see. Again, the combine shouldn't be something where you're like moving guys all over the place. It's not that. It should affirm what you saw on tape or lead you to question what you saw on tape, you know? That's kind of what the combine numbers do. Unless a guy has like a god-awful workout, then you shouldn't be dropping him down your board hugely. Listen, I know you love the NFL draft as much as I do, and you're going to want a nice hefty watch list of players during this college football season. Well, go ahead, check out my draft guide. You can purchase it for only $30 by Venmoing or PayPaling me. Links in the description. It's a one-time payment and you get it for this whole draft cycle and forever and always. Technically, it's a Google spreadsheet. So send me your email when you send the payment. I'll get you hooked up. You will see my current prospect rankings and big board, my full evals. And guess what? It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So it's a great purchase and it's a great way to support the channel. Ruko Rohoro, man, had a freaking phenomenal day. Came in with 34-inch arms, 6'4", 294. Ran a 4.89 40. Showed the explosiveness. Had 116 inches in the broad. Love to see it. And then a lot of people probably have Braden Fisk as their top riser here. I expected him to be explosive. That's kind of what we know. This dude's a penetrator. He's got a quick first step. He gets into the backfield. It's just kind of like what he does after that. He doesn't really have a ton of different moves. It's more so he tries to like wrestle and I guess outgrind the blocker to win the rep. And sometimes his pass rushes will fizzle out. So while the number's still impressive, 4.78 40, 168 10-yard split, had 116 inches on the broad. Is that what I'm seeing? No, 117 inches on broad. Had a 33 and a half inches on the vert. But I was encouraged by the shuttle. He had one of the fastest shuttles, or at least tied with Logan Lee, for 4.37 on the shuttle. So he ends up being probably a big riser for, I don't know, man. I think a lot of people were high on him. I think I was a little bit lower on him. He was like closer to like pick 70 to 80 for me. And now I probably get him in that top 64 fold. I think I don't know if some people want to put him the first. I'm not there. That's not what I saw on tape. You know, there's still a few questions I have, especially when it comes to play strength and whatnot. So let's leave it at that. Byron Murphy came in and did what he needed to do. Look at that, 169. Feel like a little John here, 169. I don't think that's how it goes, but is what it is. Ends up running a 4.87 in the 40, 33 inches in the vert, and then 111 inches in the broad. Also, another guy that had a solid day. I was actually, Grimity, I was kind of shocked that his get off was that good. But Chris Jenkins had a relatively solid day, but he's kind of known to be a workout room type of guy. Still, you got questions about. He came in at sub 300. He was at 299. Doesn't have the biggest toolbox of pass rush moves. The pass rush win rate wasn't that good this year. It was only 11%. So there are going to be a ton of questions there. But let's talk about Leonard freaking Taylor, man, because this hurts me. Leonard Taylor, I loved Leonard Taylor coming into the year. I wasn't happy this season with how the Hurricanes used him. I saw him as kind of this 3-tech penetrator. And honestly, you go to his pass rush win rate as a 3-tech, and it's pretty darn good. Like, really good. But I expected a heck lot better numbers than what we got today. Ends up a 1.76 in the 10-yard split. Very disappointed. 5.12 in the 40. The broad, the vert were nothing to write home about. He had one of the slower 3 cones, though it wasn't like terrible. It just ended up being relatively average. This doesn't feel like the guy that I watched during the summer and that I saw at parts this year when, again, lined up in that 3-tech position. So someone that's probably gonna get moved down my board by guys like Ruka Rohoro, Braden Fisk, and such. It just ended up being a little bit of a disappointing day. Let's talk about Devondre Sweat, because some people are going to be like, man, his numbers were terrible. He did it at 366. Shut your mouth. He ran a 5.2740 at 366. I'm happy with it. We know who he is. Honestly, the combine didn't really matter for him. It really didn't. Real quick, let me highlight Brandon Dorless since he's not included in this group. But Dorless came in bigger, which is I'm happy about. He was weighing came in at 6'3", 271 at the Senior Bowl. He was up to 283 here. I love that. He ran really well, showed the explosiveness, looked good in the broad. Shuttle and 3-cone times weren't great. They were fine, but I mean, not great. So looking at it, probably more of a penetrator. I mean, we kind of knew he couldn't survive on the outside at the edge because he isn't a flexible, isn't a bendy guy. That's why we look at him as an interior. So wasn't really surprised or shocked by that. Now let's go ahead. Let's move to the linebacker position and wrap this sucker up in a bow. Peyton Wilson, we knew he was going to test really well. And fun fact, he tested really well. 4.4, 340. Very explosive. Did really good in the vert and in the broad jump. Shouldn't be surprising. However, Edwin Cooper, he may have ran a little bit slower in the 40, running a 4.51, but he has 4 inches in arm length on Wilson. He's. I just kind of feel like Edwin Cooper kind of solidified linebacker 1 here if you weren't already sold on it. Like on top of Wilson having the injury concerns, but like Cooper, and you saw him during the drills, he just moved so quickly, so smoothly. I think people could talk about him in the back end of their first round area, and I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility, but I think he is probably should be in everyone's like top 40 at this point. He was already in mine. That's good to know. I went back to look to make sure because I was like, I think I may have had him in that 40 to 50 area, but no, I had him actually 38 on my big board. Might move him up a little bit. We'll see. But it doesn't mean that Wilson's a bad prospect. It's not. It tested out really fast, really explosive. See that in his game. He's very aggressive, was a very sure tackler this past season, as well as he ended up having a 4.7 missed tackle rate. Just a freaking great number there. Kalen DeLoach. 4.4740. Oh my gosh, that's such impressive for a line. That's so impressive for a linebacker. He's 5'11". He's 210 pounds. He's a safety. He better have ran fast. I'll just say that. Better have ran fast. Trevin Wallace. I'm not gonna lie, I got my hopes up that he was gonna kind of have an insane day. And I don't want to take the wind out of his sails. He had a really good day, guys. Like, he ran a 4.5 He had a 37.5 inches in the vert. He had among the biggest broad jumps. He had a really good day. I don't know why I was like expecting like some like godly numbers, but it was a really good day for him. Like, a lot of good tools there. Man, okay. I gotta talk about Jordan McGee. I love how this dude looks. This dude's jacked out his mind. I have yet to watch a lick of tape on him at a Temple. He, I don't think he partook in any of the balls, any of the All-Star balls because of injury. I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that, but I'm surprised that he didn't partake in one of those. But he ran exceptionally fast, 4.55 40. You'll love to see that. On top of that, the broad was good, 124 inches. The vert was good, 35.5 inches. 6'1", 228. To be fair, a lot of these linebackers are coming in around like 230, 231, 229. They're coming in low because they want to run fast. So I'm not too hurt about that, but I am eager. I want to go watch this cat's film. Edifon Elo Boshu. Man, I've been hyping this guy. I don't want to say I've been talking about this guy for the last couple of years. His seasons have been kind of derailed by injury. He comes back, has a fully healthy season, looked great. And I didn't think he was going to test well. It sucks. I had him as a top 100 prospect, and I was like, you know what? I hope it's tested. I hope he tests well enough to still keep getting that talk, man. He if you turn on his tape, you just love his game. He gets nimble between the tackles, and when he wants to go in and penetrate the backfield, he knows how to navigate the offensive line or the line of scrimmage without having to really take on contact. You just love his game. He's shown ability in coverage. You just love his game. But I was really scared that he wasn't going to test well. And then he came out here and ran a 4.56. And I put a smile on it. I was like, strap yourselves in. He had the biggest vert, and he had the biggest broad jump. Shut my mouth. Like, I thought he's quick. He shows good bursts and whatnot around the line of scrimmage and coming downhill and whatnot, but I didn't think it was that good. Dang, dude, he's got me grinning, man. Curtis Jacobs. Let's give a shout out to Curtis Jacobs. Being like, I think the only linebacker here that came in at over 240. He came in at 241. Runs a 4.58. Props to you. Had 124 inches in the broad. Dude, I tip my cap to you, sir. Maybe you get more midday 3 love. And then Nathaniel Watson. He came in a little lighter today because he wanted to run fast. And honestly, that 4.63 time is really good. So I'm very happy for him. I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. Not a lot of people had bad times. Like, I mean, we'll go down here to Nejan Meta, but I didn't expect him to run well anyway. And he just did. If anything, he probably ran himself out of the 7th round. Like, he was probably already in that late day 3 area. Now more of a priority UDFA, a guy that was really more of a very good run stuffer that could blitz the quarterback, but in terms of his size, isn't really a traditional edge player. So didn't expect him to run all that well. But looking at like some of the other numbers here, I don't think guys, a lot of guys had really good days. It's really hard to pick out anyone who really did terrible. We will get bench numbers. I think they bench tomorrow, so we will get those numbers then. But yeah. I mean, if I really had to say I was down on somebody, Leonard Taylor, I'd probably walk away with like Leonard Taylor being my most disappointed performance today. It left me with my head down. Could probably mention like Braylon Trice just coming in lighter, much lighter than we expected, with short arms, and then even for coming in so light, it's not like he tested out of this world, though he did test well enough. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. But hey, if you want some free agent content, I got free agent content on the channel. Just check that sucker out down there. But as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.